This is LeetCode. LeetCode is a popular online platform that provides coding and algorithmic challenges to help software developers, or aka wannabe developers, practice programming and prepare for technical job interviews. And here's my profile. And as you can see, I have never solved a LeetCode problem before. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see, problems? Holy, there's a lot of problems. We should begin with easy one. Tucson. This is an easy problem. Alright, let's see how easy it is. You're given an array of integers, nums, and an integer target. So array is basically a list. And here's target. Return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. Okay, so what we basically have to do is check the array and check each number and try to add them and see if we get the target of 2 plus 7 is 9. So we can get the output 0, 1. 0 as the index starts with 0. There's 0, 1, 2, and 3. 0, 1 adds to the target of 9. You may assume that each input would have exact one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. Alright, C++. Oh hell no, we're going to Python. And as you can see, we have the class solution. Every LeetCode problem provides a solution class. We don't create this ourselves, the LeetCode expects our answers inside this class. And here we are defining a function called toSum. Self, it refers to the current object of the class. Nums list int, it's basically the input is a list of integers. The target int is the number we are trying to create by adding two elements. As you can see here, target 9. So this is an integer. And you can see this arrow list int basically means it's going to return a list of indices. Okay, first what we're going to need to do is to store the length of the array in a variable. We're going to call it n. So n equals a length of months. Here we store the length of the array in a variable called n. Okay, so basically what this does, let's say we have a nums which is 3 to 4, the n is going to return 3 because there's 3 numbers inside here. Then we have to iterate. So what we're going to do is we need to pick one number at a time. So we're going to need to make a for loop for I in range m minus 1, yn minus 1. Well, because the last element has nothing after it to compare with. And then we're going to need another for loop. So we're going to call it for j in range of I plus 1. And so basically what this loop does, it starts from index 1 instead of 0 because we don't want to compare an element with itself. So we don't want for it to try adding the index 0 with index 0 because that's not what the question is asking for. Now we need to check whether the two selected numbers add up to the target. So if nums I plus nums j equals to the target, then we will just return I and j. And as soon as we find the answer, we immediately return the indices. And then else, we just return empty list. Alright, again, submit and running test cases, accepted. Okay, it wasn't the fastest one, but nonetheless, it worked. I just found another easy LeetCode problem, climbing stairs. So, you're climbing a staircase. It takes n steps to reach the top. Each time you can either climb 1 or 2 steps. And how many distinct ways can you climb to the top? So we have example 1, input n equals 2, output 2, explanation. There are 2 ways to climb to the top. The first way is 1 step at a time, and second, just jump 2 steps. Alright. And the example 2, input n equals 3, output 3. So there's 3 ways to climb up to the top. So 1 by 1 by 1, 1 by 2, and 2 by 1. Okay. So it seems pretty easy. Now we have the class and the function. So if n equals 0 or n equals 1, then we will return 1. Now this is basically a recursion, and so if there's a 0 stairs, then we are already at the top, and there's exactly one way, do nothing, so it will return 1. And if there's one stair, well, we just return 1 because it just takes 1 step to get to the top. So then what we can do is return self-climb stairs, repeat the function name, then we put n minus 1 plus self.climb stairs and minus 2. This is the most important line. What this line does, it basically says that the number of ways to reach stair n is n minus 1, because the last move could only be climb 1 step or climb 2 steps, nothing else. So to reach stair 5, either come from 4 to 5 or 3rd to 5, because you can only go 1 step or 2 steps. So if we submit it, it should be working. Running test cases. Okay, it's time limit exceeded. This is quite slow. So this code is too slow. If we just run it simple, it should only do the, 2 cases. As you can see, it works, but this code is way too slow for it to be accepted. So what we can do is try and find a different solution, a faster one maybe. Okay, so what we can do is to create a node dictionary. So basically what this does is we are just creating a empty dictionary, and think of it like a notebook. Every time we solve a problem, we write down the answer inside of it. And then we can return and just say self.author, and we will be creating another function, node. So instead of doing the recursion directly inside the climb stairs as we did the previous, we will be doing that by creating another function, the helper function. So what we're going to do is def helper, and then we'll say self and int, and node dictionary is going to be int, and it will be returning integer as well. I'm going to do the same if statement as we did before. N equals 0 or n equals 1, then we'll be returning exactly 1. And if n is not in node, then we'll be doing node n equals self.helper n minus 1. Okay. Minus 1, no. Then we will be adding self.helper and equals to no. And then we'll be returning node. I believe this is a faster way to get the answer. So I just submit. Syntax error. Positional argument follows keyword argument. Node n equals self-helper and minus 1 node is self-helper and equal to node. Client and solution.py. Silly me. This was supposed to be n minus 2, not n equals 2. Okay, let's submit again. And there you go. So this is basically the best solution you can do. And one more thing before I go.